Tonight, a final day of campaigning before the showdown in Pennsylvania.
You don't need another speech.
It could be a turning point in the battle for the Democratic nomination.
I am running to put an end to the game playing.
I'm Katie Couric. Also tonight, allegations of a cover-up by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA told CBS News about 800 veterans tried to take their lives last year, but we have evidence the department knew it was really 12,000. with 18 actual suicides every day. And who belongs to whom in the Texas polygamous sect? The state takes DNA samples to match parents with hundreds of children.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it's finally coming to an end. 6 long weeks of campaigning for Pennsylvania's Democratic presidential primary. And Hillary Clinton desperately needs not just a win, but a big win over Barack Obama to keep her campaign going. She trails Obama nationally by 139 delegates. Tomorrow, they'll divvy up the 158 at stake in Pennsylvania. On the eve of the voting, the latest polling shows Clinton with a 7-point lead. It's a potentially decisive contest. And CBS News has a team of correspondents deployed in key locations all across the Commonwealth. First, Jim Axelrod in Harrisburg covering the Clinton campaign. And Jim, she's expected to win there, but winning might not be enough.
That's right, Katie. All polls show that Hillary Clinton is expected to win tomorrow. The real question is, how big a win does she need to have a real shot at the nomination? Looking for a critically important boost in turnout, Clinton flew from one end of Pennsylvania to the other and hit the rest by TV.
Harry Truman said it best. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Who do you think has what it takes?
Facing a nearly insurmountable delegate deficit, Clinton's now focused on the total popular vote in all the Democratic contests to give her a case to make the superdelegates. She currently trails Obama by more than 800,000 votes.
I know you don't need another speech. You're already convinced.
Pennsylvania's her best bet to make up the most ground. With more than 4 million Democrats, it's the largest of the remaining states. But even if she shattered turnout records here and won by a highly unlikely 20 points, the total popular vote is still far out of reach. Closing the gap also requires Clinton not to lose any of the remaining contests. And right now, she's trailing in several. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
I'm Dean Reynolds. Obama is trailing in Pennsylvania, and he sounds like it. More confrontation, less inspiration.
So she takes more money from Washington lobbyists than any other candidate, Democrat or Republican.
Obama has been framing the choice here in negative contrast with Clinton on the Iraq War, on trade, on special interests, and the back-scratching culture of Washington.
I am not running just to play the game better in Washington. I am running to put an end to the game playing.
He has narrowed what was once a double-digit deficit, though his momentum has recently slowed. In an interview with early show anchor Harry Smith, he sounded less than confident.
I think she's got to be heavily favored to win. We had an uphill battle, and I suspect that we will do better than people had expected.
Still, Obama had a huge financial advantage in Pennsylvania. He's flooded the airwaves with political commercials, outspending Clinton 3-1. The consequence of having $42 million on hand to spend compared to Clinton's $9 million at the start of this month. Obama has no plans to attend any primary night parties here in Pennsylvania. When the votes come in, he'll be campaigning in Indiana. Along with North Carolina, they are the next 2 signposts on this very long road to somebody's nomination. Katie?
Very long indeed. Dean Reynolds reporting from Philadelphia tonight. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania is a kind of a mini America, urban and suburban, blue collar and professional, conservative and liberal, black and white and Hispanic. The Keystone State, where 2 different football teams represent 2 different Pennsylvanias.
What we have in Pennsylvania at the moment is sort of an East-West contest, or as we joke about it in Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans are typically Clinton voters. Many are Catholics and blue-collar workers from central and western Pennsylvania. They want someone to fight for jobs and health care, but they're also more culturally conservative. Philadelphia Eagles fans tend to fly with Obama. They're more educated, affluent, and liberal, and live in the eastern part of the state, including Philadelphia, which is evenly split between black and white voters. Many compare this battleground with Ohio, its sister swing state to the west. But because of some key differences, they're really more like cousins than siblings.
There are more Catholics in Pennsylvania than Ohio, more union members in Pennsylvania than Ohio, more older voters in Pennsylvania than Ohio.
And more women, all factors that could help Clinton score a big win. But Obama's spending might keep the game close.
I think his advertising campaign budget has been 3 times that of Senator Clinton's, which obviously has helped him enormously.
There also may be power in numbers. Many speculate a surge of new Democrats will help Obama.
Since the campaign started, there's been slightly over 300,000 new Democrats registered in Pennsylvania.
The Keystone State is key in the general election, too. Consistently courted by the GOP, Pennsylvania is a state McCain hopes to change from blue to red. And it's not hard to understand why.
Of the 10 closest states in 2004, for example, Pennsylvania had the largest number of electoral votes.
And while John McCain and his Democratic opponent will fight for those electoral votes in November, the more immediate concern for Senators Clinton and Obama is winning the state tomorrow. So are Pennsylvania Democrats, how are they feeling about their primary choices? It depends on where they are. We've deployed our correspondents from one end of the state to the other to find out what voters are thinking. First, to Bill Whitaker in Philadelphia. Bill?
Katie, Philadelphia is Obama's kind of place. Lots of college students, wealthy suburbs, a large black population. It was just 3 months ago that Obama and Clinton were splitting the black vote. Not anymore. At Yock's Cafe in West Philadelphia, the patrons have the same concerns as the rest of the state.
The economy, the war, all the things that everyone's talking about, basically.
But while the rest of the state is torn in this primary, in predominantly black West Philly, it seems to be no contest.
Obama would be our president.
The needs of the American people, and he seems to be more realistic about it.
Blacks in Pennsylvania favor Obama 8-1, and Philly is almost half black. Still, the city's popular black mayor backs Hillary.
She gets the job done.
If you're registered to vote, vote. Amen.
Black clergy from 200 churches endorsed Obama.
We feel very strongly about the brand of leadership that he's bringing, the fact that he has energized a whole new generation of voters.
So energized, the Reverend predicts a surprisingly high black turnout tomorrow. Katie?
Bill Whitaker, thanks very much. From Philadelphia, we head now to the southwestern part of the state, to Pittsburgh. Our Nancy Cordes is there. Nancy?
Katie, Pittsburgh is a Democratic stronghold and the second biggest prize in the state after Philadelphia. It used to be part of the backbone of American manufacturing, but now many people here are struggling to adjust to the new economy. It's still called Steel City, but all of Pittsburgh's steel mills have been shuttered, replaced by healthcare and technology firms.
Of my 5 brothers and sisters, with the exception of the one that is still in high school, all of us are taking more of a high-tech role and a professional role.
It's been a tough transition for folks like John Bauer, who started computer training when his paper mill closed. His insurance runs out in 6 months.
To me, it's the biggest issue in the world. I'm a diabetic. If I don't have health care, if I don't have prescription coverage, I'm in the tubes. I'm dead.
The demographics here favor Clinton. Pittsburgh is whiter and older than most urban areas.
Voters in this region tend to think of her as the conservative Democrat.
A plus, he says, in a city where many schools still close the Monday after Thanksgiving, the first day of hunting season.
We have pro-gun Democrats, we have pro-life Democrats. This region of the state is different from that eastern establishment town of Philadelphia.
That's why Clinton tends to campaign with former generals when she's in Pittsburgh, while Obama favors former Steelers players. The closest thing in these parts, Katie, to royalty.
All right, Nancy Cordes in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, blue-collar voters have been at the center of this primary battle, and many of them live in the northeastern city of Scranton, and that is where we find Chip Reed tonight. Chip?
Well, good evening, Katie. Hillary Clinton's grandfather worked in a lace factory here. Her father was born and raised here, and she spent summers as a child at a nearby lake. Some people call it Hillary country. Others beg to differ.
For many here at Scranton's Coney Island, the choice between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama leaves them split down the middle.
It's like getting two pieces of cake. Like, you don't know which one you want, but they're both good.
These two friends, both Democrats, are worlds apart.
I know the 8 years that Bill Clinton was there were the best 8 years I had, personally. So why wouldn't I vote for Hillary?
So who are you supporting in this race?
None of them.
None of them?
None of the above.
Really? Where are you leaning?
I'm against them all.
All of them?
Against everybody.
No kidding. Why?
Bitter and sour.
At a nearby construction site, another split verdict.
I like the job that Bill did, and I'm voting for Hillary. I don't know if I can cross here or not.
Same thing at the local Rotary Club. Mixed feelings about native daughter Hillary Clinton.
I think it's time a woman had a chance.
Her face has been on the screen for so many years. Her voice is screechy. It's time for a change.
And that was just one of many indications we got here today that this may not be Hillary country after all, and her roots may not be as deep as she thinks. Katie?
Chip Reed. Thank you, Chip. Young voters could be critical in Pennsylvania tomorrow and nationally in November. And in a new poll of 18 to 29-year-olds by CBS News and MTV, many of them are concerned about their job prospects. Two-thirds say they're only fair or poor. Less than a third say good. On another matter, two-thirds of young voters tell us they believe the 2008 campaign has focused too much on race and gender. For more on the young vote in the Pennsylvania primary, we go now to the Lehigh Valley, where Kelly Kobayea is in Allentown. Kelly?
Katie, Allentown used to be known for old steel mills and manufacturing, but it's enjoying a rebirth with new industry, healthcare, higher education. There are 6 colleges in this area, and that means hundreds of new, young voters. How many support Barack Obama? And how many support Hillary Clinton? Muhlenberg College should be Obama country.
He's got my vote. Hey, great, thanks.
A CBS News MTV poll shows he has the vote of most Democrats under the age of 30, 48% to Hillary Clinton's 37%. But on this campus, the leaders of the college Democrats say the Obama-Clinton divide is smaller. John Rosenau is voting for Clinton because of
the war in Iraq, health care, and really just getting rid of No Child Left Behind.
His roommate, Adrian Shanker, is disappointed in both candidates' tone.
They've both been attacking each other, probably a little bit more than is good for the Democratic Party right now.
Even so, college Democrats signed up more than 300 new voters last month.
I don't think that most young voters are voting based on Barack Obama misspeaking on if Pennsylvanians are bitter or Hillary Clinton saying she was shot at when she got to Bosnia.
Katie, it's clear on this campus, issues count.
Kelly Kobayea. Kelly, thank you. Now a big issue for voters everywhere, energy prices. The CBS News Money Watch finds oil flirted with $118 a barrel today before closing at $117.48, up more than $1 since Friday. And the price of gasoline hit another record high today, $3.51 a gallon. That's up 12 cents. In just the past week. There is much more CBS News ahead, including officials in Texas using DNA to try to sort out the families in that polygamous compound. But up next, a CBS News investigation. Allegations that the VA covered up an epidemic of suicide by military veterans. There are serious allegations tonight against the Department of Veterans Affairs that it tried to cover up an epidemic of suicide. CBS News chief investigative correspondent Armin Katayan first exposed this epidemic last year, and tonight he has an exclusive follow-up.
In San Francisco federal court today, attorneys for veterans' rights groups accuse the VA of nothing less than a cover-up, deliberately concealing the real risk of suicide among veterans.
The system is in crisis. And unfortunately, the VA is in denial.
The charges were backed by these internal emails written by Dr. Ira Katz, the VA's head of mental health. In the past, Dr. Katz has repeatedly insisted while the risk of suicide among veterans is serious, it is not outside the norm.
There is no epidemic of suicide in VA.
But in this email to his top media advisor written 2 months ago, Dr. Katz appears to be saying something very different, stating our suicide prevention coordinators are identifying about 1,000 suicide attempts per month among veterans we see in our medical facilities. Dr. Katz's email was written shortly after the VA provided CBS News data showing there were only 790 attempted suicides in all of 2007, a fraction of Dr. Katz's estimate.
This 12,000 attempted suicides per year shows clearly, without a doubt, that there is a suicide epidemic.
And it appears that Dr. Katz went out of his way to conceal these numbers. First, he titled his email, "Not for the CBS News interview request." He opened it with "shh," as in keep it quiet, before ending with, "Is this something we should carefully address before someone stumbles on it?" Today, we showed the email to Congressman Bob Filner, who chairs the House Committee on Veterans Affairs.
This is disgraceful. This is a crime against our nation, our nation's veterans. They do not want to come to grips with the reality, with the truth.
And that's not all. Last November, when CBS News exposed an epidemic of more than 6,200 suicides in 2005 among those who had served in the military, Dr. Katz attacked our report.
Their number is not, in fact, an accurate reflection of the rate.
But it turns out they were, as Dr. Katz admitted in this email just 3 days later. He wrote there are about 18 suicides per day among America's 25 million veterans. That works out to be about 6,570 per year, which Dr. Katz admits in the same email is supported by the CBS numbers. In an email late today to CBS News, Dr. Katz said the reason why the suicide numbers were not released was because of questions over the reliability and consistency of the findings, and that there was no public cover-up involved. Armin Katayan, CBS News, Washington. And to learn more, you can go to cbsnews.com and click on CBS Investigates to see those VA documents and Armin's exclusive reports. When we come back, putting members of the polygamy compound under a microscope. The latest on that massive custody fight next. In West Texas today, the biggest child custody fight in U.S. history expanded from the courtroom to the laboratory. It involves that polygamous sect, and Randall Pinkston has the latest.
Today, as Texas launched unprecedented DNA testing to determine the parents of more than 400 children, lawyers representing them sought a court order to force better access. Some complained the state may be moving too quickly to put the children in foster care.
I'm not sure that idea works well in any situation. It particularly doesn't work well when you have such a tight-knit community and an insular culture. Disbanding them to the winds at foster care in Texas would be a disaster.
2 weeks ago, state officials took the children from a religious compound after allegations of adult men marrying teenage girls, a practice one resident seemed to acknowledge.
I can see that there needs to be lessons learned. If I understood right, and maybe I'm misinformed, but if I understood right, a few years back, the law in Texas allowed a girl to be married when she was 14.
Another church member complained the state's decision to take all the children, in effect, accuses every adult of child abuse.
If there are some people here with this underage situation, you're saying the state should deal with those and leave the rest of you alone?
Sure. If they feel like that's a problem that they need to bring up, then go ahead, look at that, scrutinize that, deal with it however they feel like they need to. But don't take a whole community.
DNA testing for parents on the ranch begins tomorrow, but a Texas family law expert says submitting to the test isn't a guarantee the families will be reunited.
There's going to be other issues, psychological testing, home studies. Is there a safe place where these children will be free from sexual or emotional abuse?
Those concerns explain why state officials are still searching for foster homes. DNA test results are expected back in a month. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, San Angelo, Texas.
In Chicago, meantime, it was a brutal and bloody weekend. 36 shootings, 9 of them fatal. That's nearly twice as many as the same weekend last year. Police blame the violence on a surge in guns and gangs. That is the CBS Evening News. I'm Katie Couric. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.